What's going on, Griddle Nation? In this video, I'm gonna show you guys a really fun fall themed appetizer. We're talking flatbread, but with a little bit of pumpkin, some Gruyere, some cheddar, a little bit of onion. This is gonna be really, really fun when it kind of like celebrates the flavors of the season, the flavors of fall. Sounds pretty good. Let me show you guys how to do it. I've had my Blackstone preheating on low. I want to bring that up to about medium low. We don't want to go too fast and furious with this. I'm going to start with my chorizo. Now, if you've never had chorizo, it is a fantastic sausage. It's got some heat, a ton of paprika. It's loaded with flavor, and it's got a really good fat content. So I want to slice that nice and thin, almost like a pepperoni, and throw that on the griddle and let it start to get crispy. Those only take a couple of minutes. What we're looking for is some texture. We want it to be a little crispy. Plus, some of that beautiful flavor and oil is going to come out onto the griddle top, and that's what we're going to crisp our flatbread in. Speaking of flatbread, let's go ahead and get to that. Now, if you haven't had these before, these are fantastic. They're pre-made. If you are a rock star and you make your own flatbread, that's amazing, but you don't have to, especially on a date night or something like that. You want something quick, something easy, but I do want to toast this. So let me grab my tongs. I'm gonna slide my little sausage over just a little bit. We can give them a flip. I'm gonna slide them out of that fat that's starting to render. And if you've never had chorizo on the griddle like this before, they actually release quite a bit of fat, which is what we want. It's exciting, right? That's what our bread wants. It wants to soak up more flavor. So this is a really fun way to do it. That looks good. And last little guy. Now see all this beautiful action right here, that shiny, glistening action. We're gonna go presentation side down first. Kind of give it a 1-2, just like that. And we're gonna let that toast. Ooh, I can feel it. Oh yeah. Let's let that toast for just a bit and get to some of our other ingredients. Now I've got some red onion. Basically want to make nice thin little ribbons of the red onion. We don't want too much of a punch of flavor, so we want a nice thin piece of onion. And that looks perfect. Let's check on our flatbread real quick. Oh yeah, nice light toast. We can give our chorizo another little flip. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. See, now the flavor of chorizo by itself is really fantastic, but now we're adding some texture. So we've got that crispiness of the chorizo. It's gonna kind of feel like a pepperoni. Beauty, love that. Let's let it go for just a couple more seconds and let's keep cruising. I've got some cheese. Now I have two different kinds of cheese, mostly for each cheese has its own set of magic, you know. This one in particular, we're gonna start with the cheddar. I'm using white cheddar and we're using Gruyere, but let's do the cheddar first. I'm gonna take my box grater and shred this nice and small. We basically want small little pieces that will melt to perfection. Having two different cheeses is really nice. The Gruyere has a much different creaminess and the cheddar has a bit more of a bite to it. Plus your guests will really appreciate you took the extra second to add two different cheeses. All right, let's bring our flatbread back over to our cutting board and we can assemble right over here. All right, now here, stay with me, stick with me. It's fall, gotta use pumpkin. I've got some pumpkin puree right here. I'm gonna take that down. Imagine this is like your marinara, right? This is your delicious sauce. We are gonna spice it up just a little bit. You don't need a ton. A little bit goes a long way when it comes to pumpkin. Don't worry, we're not gonna be making pumpkin everything. But every once in a while, you know, pumpkin is fun, especially this time of year. Let's take some of our fresh oregano, and I'm gonna pull that right off the stem, just like that. Oh, I love fresh herbs. If you don't grow your own fresh herbs, you should. Maybe wait till spring, but you can grow some other good stuff. Here in Florida, we grow oregano. It's so simple, love it. Let's take some of our basil as well. I'm just gonna rip it. You don't have to worry too much about how it looks, especially when it comes to herbs. Some nice tears. Just feels homemade. Makes it feel like, you know, a personal touch, and I am all about that. Beautiful, I love that. Now we're gonna take some of our onion and pull it apart. We don't need a ton, just a little bit like that. Oh yeah, this is beautiful. Now let's hit that with just a bit of salt. And there we go. And just a bit of pepper. And before I add my other ingredients, I'm gonna grab a bit of oil and just do a nice light drizzle of olive oil. Beautiful. Now you do not have to add this part. The chorizo already has a bit of seasoning, but I'm gonna add just a bit of crushed red pepper. I think I'm a fan of the heat. If you're not, then skip this part. It'll still be just as good. But I like the heat. I think the heat's fun. All right, I dig that. Now let's grab some of our beautiful little chorizo. You just scoop them all. Oh yeah, look at that caramelization. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. Now we can just pull these little guys on like that. Don't go overkill. Just make a nice little pattern. Lovely little crispy chorizo. And the texture difference, having it crispy like this, it really does make a big difference. Oh, I dig that. We can save this. We'll put it back over here, just for now. All right, now it's time for our cheese. I'll get a good mix of the two. You can kind of mix them together if you want, or do them separately, one at a time if you like. Nice little mix right over the top. Oh yeah, I dig that. While we're finishing this up, let's turn this other side to off, completely off. We don't need any more heat. Let's turn that off just like that. And we will finish melting all this over there. All right, here we go. Let's take this guy right onto the griddle. Now we're gonna cover this. Oh yeah, we're gonna cover this with a dome. Let it go for about 4 minutes, 3 minutes or so. Let that cheese melt, and it is appetizer time, my friends. Our flatbread is almost done. Let's get to our garnish. I'm gonna take just a little bit of flat leaf parsley. I always like to use flat leaf. I just feel like it has a much, much better flavor and definitely has a better appearance. So nice rough little chop here. You don't have to go too tiny. Sometimes big pieces is really nice. Beautiful, slide that off to the side, and let's check that gorgeous flatbread. It smells done. You ever want to smell your food and know when it's done? Cause that, my friends, is done. Let me grab my spatula here, bring it back over to our cutting board. Oh yeah, beauty. Gorgeous. Whew, a little warm, a little warm. All right, let's take some of that fresh parsley. Just go over a little splash of green. Goes a long way. That, my friends, gorgeous. Love it. So we're gonna cut some nice little pieces out of this. Let's just do 4. Beautiful. Oh, I like that. Nice crispy crust on the bottom. Oh yeah. I don't know if you can see. Can I show you that crust? Look at that. Nice and, you hear that? Can you hear the, oh, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. All right, let's grab our plate. Make a nice little arrangement here. I'm running out of room. All right, here we go. We'll go with 1, 2. Oh, make sure we finish cutting that crust. 2, 3, and 4. And this, my friends, you put this on the table. It's either a fantastic appetizer or it could be a really simple dinner. But this is definitely a fantastic way to start a beautiful evening. Let's take a little bite real quick. Oh yeah. The chorizo has a little bit of that kick, that spice, the creaminess of both cheeses, and that pumpkin flavor really shines through. Don't be afraid just because there's pumpkin in it. It actually does add a really great richness to the flatbread. This is a really, really fun one. I hope you guys like this one as much as I do, because dang. Thank you so much for hanging out. I love doing fun dishes like that where you just kind of throw some fun ingredients together and you come out with something absolutely glorious. This is a really fun one. I hope you guys try it. Be sure to check out CJ's show, Betty's show, Todd's show, but this is Cook, Eat, Repeat, where we help you become a better cook, one recipe at a time. I'm your host, Chef Nathan Lippy, and I will see you guys in the next video.